Ever been so tired and weary that no amount of soda, coffee, or loud music can keep you awake? That's usually the point when most people reach for their preferred brand of caffeinated energy drink. But how did cans of Red Bull, Monster, and countless others become the world's go-to cure for exhaustion? Well, today we're taking a look at the rise of the caffeinated energy drink. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other dubious canned drinks you would like to hear about. Okay, time to throw back a tall boy because this one's gonna be a monster. The first energy drink was invented in Japan in 1962. A few years earlier, the country had passed a series of laws designed to fight the widespread use of amphetamines, which were apparently pretty popular at the time. Though to be fair, speed never really falls out of season.
That's science, so that's true.
The loss of amphetamines created a consumer need, and a pharmaceutical company called Taisho responded by releasing what it called an energizing tonic, which would boost a person's physical and mental abilities. You know, like speed being speed.
Yeah!
Its main ingredient was taurine, and in addition to sounding like a muscular fruit juice, taurine also happens to be the main ingredient in Red Bull. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's hard to stay focused after pounding all this enriched caffeine. Taisho's tonic, which by all accounts looked and tasted like cough syrup, was sold under the not-so-catchy brand name Lipovitan D. But while Taisho might not have come out of the gate with the flashiest marketing, they knew right from the start who the customer base for this product would be: truck drivers and factory workers working inhumanely long shifts, aka the kind of people who used to take a lot of speed. Compared to some of the later energy drinks, Lipovitan was a modest success. Its market tends to grow and shrink with the Japanese economy, but it's still widely available throughout Asia today. But regardless of its success, it wouldn't be the last word in energy drinks. Not by a long shot. The next major entry into the energy drink market came in 1976 with the release of Krating Dang from Thai manufacturer Chaileo Yuwitia. Krating Dang roughly translates to Red Guar or Red Bull, so you can probably sense where this is headed. Krating Dang took the taurine that had made Lipovitan D such a hit, boy that is really a terrible name, and tossed in some caffeine and vitamin B. By the 1980s, the concoction had become a smash hit with the unlikely demographic of Japanese executives. Fast forward to 1984, which shouldn't be hard to do if you're drinking Red Bull. After your fifth can, you gain the ability to travel through time. The year that brought us Ghostbusters, The Karate Kid, and Star Trek III: The Search for Spock also made history for night owls and fans of budget mixed drinks. An Austrian businessman named Dietrich Mateschitz was trying to deal with some jet lag while visiting Bangkok. So he gulped down a Krating Dang and was absolutely amazed at how well it worked. Mateschitz partnered with Chaileo Yuwitia to create an energy drink for the European market. This newly carbonated version of Krating Dang was known as Red Bull. Red Bull was a massive success, and by 1997, it made its way to stores in the United States. It quickly became a hit with busy college students who were always looking for ways to cram extra hours into the day. There may be many reasons to question the state of higher education in America, but there is no question that it helped to create an enduring legacy. The brilliant marketing campaign in which Red Bull sponsored parties on college campuses and at sporting events. Throw in some cute animated commercials featuring the viral catchphrase,
Red Bull gives you wings!
And suddenly, a sensation was born. No, really. Red Bull sold over 300 million cans of energy drink between 1996 and 2006 alone. And it was the success of Red Bull that paved the way for the entire modern energy drink market, including products like Monster and the notorious Four Loko. More on that literally intoxicating potion in a minute. Red Bull may have been the trendsetter, but Monster Energy Drink, with its edgy conspiracy theory-inducing marketing campaign, has always been the biggest neon green lightning rod for controversy. Despite being a product of Hansen's Natural, a family company founded in the 1930s to sell fruit juice, cans of Monster have always been decorated like the cheapest nu metal album at the thrift store. That extreme look has been a key component of Monster's marketing strategies. These include sponsoring the Monster Army, an organization that supports young athletes trying to make their way in sports like snowboarding and surfing. Remember when we mentioned conspiracy theories? Well, the trademark 3 slashes in Monster's logo have become the subject of internet speculation, presumably fueled by people who drink way too much Monster and don't go outside. According to the theory, each claw mark is actually in the shape of a vav, which is the Hebrew version of the number 6. And since there are 3 claw marks, that would mean there's a hidden 666 on every can. That, combined with Monster's marketing slogan, Unleash the Beast, can mean only one thing. Monster Energy Drink is the devil's brew. Whether the drink is supposedly made by demons or will turn you into one is unclear, although I guess it would have to be both. Four Loko. Told you we'd be coming back to this. Four Loko is every urban legend the troublemaker kid at the bus stop ever told you, poured into a single can so large it stretches the limits of human consumption. Back in the 1990s, college kids began mixing Red Bull with vodka, which we should warn you is actually a little dangerous. They should call this drink the John Belushi. Then, in 2002, the first major alcoholic energy drink, Sparks, was released. It wasn't particularly tasty because, neither are energy drinks. Nobody drinks these things for the flavor. But Sparks was popular, and that popularity inspired 3 Ohio State fraternity brothers to try to create their own version in 2005. They called their company Fusion Projects and their drink Four. The long story short, Four was a big flop. But failure wasn't going to stop these frat boys. In 2008, they revamped the product with a bigger can, twice the alcohol content, and a dangerous new name, Four Loko. The reimagined drink hit pay dirt. According to some authorities, drinking a Four Loko is the equivalent of drinking 4 to 6 beers, a Red Bull, and a shot of espresso. Oh, wait. This drink should be called the John Belushi. A can of Four Loko makes vodka and Red Bull look like Jim Belushi. Sure, dozens of college students were hospitalized after drinking too much, and the FDA demanded the company prove its drink wasn't dangerous. But that did not stop them from selling 60 million cans of the stuff in 2010. But all good things must come to an end. Under increasing pressure, Fusion finally changed the formula for Four Loko in 2010. The new formula has never been as popular, so pour one out for the original Four Loko. Despite not being all that different from your average sodas, energy drinks were able to take the world by storm by focusing their marketing on their supposed benefits, promising improved focus, performance, and, well, energy. You don't get those kinds of results from a can of Mountain Dew. Much like the original Lipovit-ND, marketing was aimed at office workers and truck drivers, presenting the drinks as dietary supplements. But as the manufacturers learned more about their client base, commercials for these products began to target teen athletes, often depicting active teams engaging in extreme sports like bungee jumping. Wait, how is bungee jumping a sport? Don't you just fall? Do you keep score? For example, while Red Bull's American marketing campaign promises the drink will give you wings, its international campaign still connects the drink to motorcycle racing, windsurfing, kayaking, parkour, and other bodacious activities. Within the last decade, however, several energy drink manufacturers have shifted from targeting athletes to targeting young people in general. 2/3 of energy drink consumers are between 13 and 35. In the U.S., energy drinks are the second most widely used dietary supplement among people in that age group. Which makes sense. Energy drink companies routinely position themselves as sponsors of athletes, musicians, and events that are popular with young people. For example, Monster has made itself a mainstay in the esports world, even making a cameo appearance in the 2019 action game Death Stranding. For what it's worth, representatives of several energy drink manufacturers have denied that they target young people with their marketing, insisting their efforts are intended to sell energy drinks to adults. Researchers at the University of Waterloo, however, have suggested those marketing campaigns are designed like the old campaigns of cigarette companies, aimed at adults but just as effective on younger consumers. We're looking at you, Joe Camel. Come to think of it, Joe Camel doesn't look like he's never tried Four Loko. This has all led to a bit of a showdown between children's health professionals who think sales of energy drinks to kids should be banned, and the energy drink manufacturers who believe they're being unfairly targeted among other caffeinated products. So why are health professionals so concerned about energy drinks being hawked to kids? Well, right from the start, energy drinks have raised concerns. For example, Monster has been investigated by the FDA in connection with 5 deaths. These include a case in which a 14-year-old girl perished after consuming 2 cans in one day, a man who had a stroke after drinking 3 cans a day for 3 months, and a 19-year-old who succumbed to cardiac arrhythmia after drinking 2 monsters a day for 3 years. And between 2000 and 2012, 13 deaths were linked to the use of 5-Hour Energy, a tiny bottled drink that's a mainstay of impulse buy racks and gas stations across America. Meanwhile, scientists have linked the excessive amounts of caffeine in most energy drinks to an array of health concerns. These include physical ailments like dehydration, digestive disorders, seizures, and strokes, as well as sleeping disorders, acute mania, and anxiety issues. The risk of caffeine intoxication is especially pronounced in children. Just mix some vodka in there to take the edge off. More seriously, however, is the effect energy drinks can have on the human heart. According to the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, drinks like Monster and Red Bull can cause irregular heartbeats, and in extreme situations, even heart failure, which is kind of the opposite of giving you energy, when you think about it. Interestingly, studies show that energy drinks cause these heart problems far more frequently than other beverages with similar caffeine content. So it might not be the caffeine alone that's doing it. A whole host of new problems join the list when you account for the widespread practice of mixing energy drinks with alcohol. For starters, energy drinks containing alcohol impair cognitive functioning. Because, of course they do. That's the point of alcohol. However, mixing alcohol with large amounts of caffeine can mask the effects of intoxication. This encourages people to keep drinking when they might already be several more than 3 sheets to the wind. It can also lead drinkers to engage in risky behavior, like attempting to drive because they feel like they're sober, or trying to do a backflip at Hooters. Presumably, in light of these studies, energy drinks have stepped back from some of their health claims and now have their products regulated as regular drinks, as opposed to dietary supplements. Over the years, the energy drink market has continued to grow, even as the markets for other drinks have declined. Energy drinks have even branched out a bit. Monster, for example, now has 60 different varieties to choose from, including things like low carb and zero sugar, although the original green Monster is still the most popular. Can't beat the classics. Red Bull, by comparison, only has 10 varieties. But it's not hurting their sales, because in 2022, Red Bull was the top-selling energy drink in the United States, slinging over 11.5 billion cans of liquid energy. That accounts for an incredible $6.8 billion in sales. Second place went to Monster, which racked up a still impressive $4.9 billion in sales. VPX Bang, Rockstar, and Reign rounded out the top 5. The entire global energy drink market for 2022 was worth about $58 billion. And people's taste for this stuff does not seem to be drying up. By 2026, that same market is expected to grow somewhere in the neighborhood of $77 billion. Maybe that means they'll bring back the Steven Seagal energy drink. We can only hope. So what do you think? Sip or slam an energy drink? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.